Good afternoon, everyone. This is Scarlet Shark coming to you from another Zoom call. This time, we're bringing you an interview with a Smash player from Panama. Today's guest is the de facto vice president of FSU Panama's Smash Bros. Club, Taekwondo Blackbelt, and humongous fan of Xenoblade, Persona, Fire Emblem, and Legend of Zelda. Ladies and gents, say hello to Miguel Cervantes, aka Evolved Mike. Firstly, Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Firstly, I gotta ask, how did you discover Xenoblade and what was
Okay, I discovered Xenoblade back, I think, the year when Shulk was announced for Smash 4. Before that, I didn't know about Xenoblade, and I didn't play any RPGs back then. But the moment that I was really starting to get interested in Xenoblade was when I first started playing RPGs back in 2017. I started playing Skyrim, playing Fallout, The Witcher, many Western RPGs before switching to Japanese RPGs. And people always said, and the internet list always put Xenoblade as one of the best JRPGs out there. So back when Pyra and Mythra were released for Smash, I think in 2021, that was a time when I really got interested in Xenoblade and said to myself, I gotta play these games. And that's how I started with Xenoblade. The rest is history.
All right. Would you say that your love for the Xenoblade games influenced your choice in making Pyra Mythra your main?
Yes, definitely. My first Xenoblade game was Xenoblade 1. Then I played 2, and then I played 3, and the respective DLCs. I haven't played Xenoblade X because it hasn't released. But yes, I love Fire Mythra. I love Xenoblade 2, and I like Fire Mythra moveset. I like using Pyra more than Mythra. I also like using Shulk, but Shulk is a very difficult character to use, in my opinion. I need more practice with him. I need to get better with him if I will want to use him as one of my mains. But for now, Pyra and Mythra are one of my mains. I don't use them in tournaments, or I only use them for fun because, well, I love their moveset and I pull their characters.
Let's see. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much would you say players like franchise or game versus their Smash?
Oh, okay. I would say well, I also love Persona as well. But I don't like to use Joker that much. I think he has a cool moveset, but what I don't like about using Joker in Smash is that he is too light, and I don't like his moves that much. But that's the reason. I love Persona. I played Persona 5 twice. I've played Persona 4 and 3, waiting for the remake. But I don't really like using Joker that much. It's not my favorite character to use. But well, I love Fire Emblem, and I love Fire Emblem characters. I love every single one of them in Smash, and well, I love the games as well. Like I said before, Pyra and Mythra are goated, and Shulk is also very good, but very hard to use. So I would say that it's if I would rank it in numbers, say it's an 8, like when describing like how much you want to use characters that you like the game, because all depends on how good are you using the characters in Smash, let's say.
Now, on that note, I am kind of scared to ask you this because you're a Fire Emblem fan, and secondly, because you're a Taekwondo Blackbelt, you probably get how many asses. But do you think that we have way too many Fire Emblem characters in Smash? Do you agree with the common notion that there's just way too many Fire Emblem?
I agree that there are too many Fire Emblem characters in Smash, but I don't hate that there are too many characters. I really don't care, really. If I would like to say a negative thing about that is that there are too many Fire Emblem Awakening characters in Smash. We have Lucina, Chrom, and Robin, and they are all from the same Fire Emblem game. I think that probably there could be a little bit more variety in between Fire Emblem games, and there can be more variety in the movesets of the fighters. But yes, I can sympathize and I can agree that there's too many Fire Emblem characters in the game. But at the same time, I love Fire Emblem and I love using those characters in gameplay. So I cannot really relate to that to that anger or that hate that some players in the Smash community have for those characters. But yeah.
It's interesting that we bring up this about the many Fire Emblem when we also remember that you're a fan of the Zelda franchise, and a lot of people who did have very much in the Zelda representative because we have three links, two phases of Zelda, and again, do you think that we should be getting another Zelda rep at some point?
I think that for Zelda characters, I mean, let's look at the main characters in Legend of Zelda game franchise. In every game, you're gonna have a Link, a Zelda, or a Ganon, or a Ganon. So, let's say having those three reps in Smash is great. But how many other influential characters the Legend of Zelda games have? I mean, usually there's Midna for Twilight Princess, the 4 champions for Breath of the Wild,
Skull Kid from Majora's Mask?
Yeah, Skull Kid. It will be, let's say, fun if more characters are added, but in my opinion, having the 3 main characters that appear in almost every game is enough. But yes, I mean, it would be fun having a Skull Kid in the game. Let's say, making the moveset out of him will be very fun to play. Having Midnight in the game will be interesting. Having Mipha, I think Mipha will be a great contender. I mean, I really like spearman characters or lance using characters, and I think the influence that Mipha has in the fandom is very big. And also during my time playing Breath of the Wild back in 2020, I really like Mipha as a character and her backstory, and I think having her in a future Smash game would be, in my opinion, very interesting, and I will use her, definitely.
Shifting gears to another platform, did All-Star 2 actually made the very baffling choice to remove 11 fighters. What's your stance on characters being removed from rosters between you?
I think that removing characters from rosters is usually one of the worst things you can make as a fighting game developer. I think removing characters, you do more harm than good in almost all the times that it had happened before. I remember when Smash 4 came out, they removed Pokemon Trainer, who wasn't in the game. There was only Charizard, no Squirtle, no Ivysaur, no Snake. I think Wolf wasn't in the game, and that upset a lot of people, a lot of Smash fans. And going to Mortal Kombat, every Mortal Kombat game, they remove characters, but they add new ones. But people get upset. And Street Fighter, same thing. With almost every video game fighting franchise, I think the worst thing you can do is remove characters.
Yeah, because usually,
yes, you can rework them to make them different, but removing them like this character is out of the game, I think it's the worst thing you can do.
it's interesting that you mentioned that because you usually see this character, like for instance, Mortal Kombat. There's a huge fandom of Melina when for Mortal Kombat 11 it was outcry, and yet her again. And Gold when Mortal Kombat came along, she was literally one of the first female characters added. So yeah, I think it depends on the character. As when you look at Tekken, Heihachi, it's not smart, but people are okay with that. I think it depends on the character and fandom, because there's always going to be certain fandom that character that in their exclusion. Continuing onto our Nickelodeon talk, I feel like starting to fall down a similar path in regards to Avatar character Smash Bros. Is, as again, I am told it's quite a couple of times. And now we just found out in DLC that Zuko and Iroh, literally her family and all firebenders, can be added in as DLC. 3 firebenders. Of how surprisingly all from the family. 2 of which, those being Azula and Iroh, having various. Now, being said, I mainly say that because, he at least has his to like differentiate it. Now, that being said, do you think there's any way in which they can basically make Iroh different enough, like a carbon, so that they can avoid the fire?
Yes, definitely. I think, Zuko and Iroh should be, both firebenders, but they should have different moveset and different weight than Azula to make them feel different. In a way, they're both going to use fire, obviously. But let's say, I haven't seen many gameplay of, I only seen one gameplay of us, in the video of Azula, so I really don't know how to describe her fighting style. But let's say, make Iroh, a heavy character, and make him use lightning bending. I don't know, make him use mainly powered attacks using fire. I don't know.
It's funny because when you mentioned lightning, that's literally one of Azula's strong. Not only does she mainly use her projectile, she also has higher melee as well. But I feel like Zuko gets a little past. He redid his popularity because he has the swords. I feel like it's a little weird at this at this point of the game because they already have Aang and Korra and they're totally different. Literally being the same, integrated. But yeah, I do believe that there's a possibility. But on that note, when it comes down to it, do you feel like people wouldn't have that much characters to be played differently from each other?
If maybe it's a big maybe, because you can make every fireman character different from each other, but people will still complain about there being too many fireman characters in Smash. I think for me it will be a welcome change if fireman, you say you make most of the fireman characters different from each other, but people will still complain. You're gonna change that. There will always be that group of complainers, or that group of LEDs who hate Fire Emblem, or who hate this game franchise that is that's in their opinion already represented in this fighting game. But in my opinion, I think it will be very it will be awesome if I see more Fire Emblem characters with different movesets than the ones that are in Smash already. I would love to see another mage character like Robin. I would love to see maybe a Manakith character, which are these people who in Fire Emblem, they have these dragon stones that when they touch a dragon stone, they transform into dragons. Probably a character like Tiki, that is a assist trophy in Smash, could be a playable character in this game. I think it will be an interesting way to spice things up.
Spicing up that place. Praise, yeah. Now, this question might be a little odd, but as you said, or a Taekwondo, as I said, for your Taekwondo Blackbelt, and I'm pretty sure you had this question asked. If you've ever played Street Fighter, have you ever considered using your Taekwondo?
I've only played Street Fighter once, but I never used Juri before. I thought she was a new character for this new Street Fighter, but apparently that's not it. But maybe, well, I don't know, maybe the next time I get the opportunity to play Street Fighter, I will use Juri. I don't know about her backstory. I don't know.
As someone who has,
I guess she's a Taekwondo practitioner. Yes.
As someone who has played Judy plenty of times in across free games. I can tell you right off the bat her backstory. And she's probably, and when you ask her how crazy she is, you ask her on a scale from 1 to 10, you get 1 to a 0.
Yeah, she looked the only time that I looked at a character portrait and her movesets, she looked like she was unhinged.
Yeah,
but
somehow they introduced the character.
She seems fun. She seems fun to use, and the next time I play Street Fighter, I would try using it. I don't know if she will quickly win or not, but I guess.
Now, that being said, as we mentioned, you are technically the de facto vice president of the Match Club at and as far as it goes, you plan on ever competing, continuing your gaming, continue to compete when you go to FSU students have to go to Tallahassee yourself, continue to be a gamer while you're abroad.
Definitely. I will. If the opportunity arises, I will definitely go to tournaments in Tallahassee. Even if people there are so much better than me, I will still go to have fun because I'm really not the best player around there. I'm not even like in the top 100, I think, of Panama, to be honest. But I have fun. I have fun in tournaments. I like going to tournaments. I like just like meeting people and talking with people about whatever. And definitely, I won't stop gaming. When I'm in Tallahassee, I mean, forever, I won't stop gaming. I love gaming. I love Smash. I love all my games. I will definitely go to tournaments and just try to win, I guess. But at the end, I will have fun. And that's my favorite thing about tournaments.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when we asked your FSU Club president, Benny, and he literally was like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to try to make a game for myself. I'm going to go in there with it. And
go for it. I would say that I mean, he's very good at big games, so if he can, he should go for it. I will be cheering him up from backstage.
Yeah, that being said, also, a bit of an unrelated question, but if you ended up going to Tallahassee, someone is like, oh, you're a Taekwondo fighter, let's spar for a little bit, what would you say to that?
I mean, I will need to practice a little bit before fighting again, because I mean, I got my black belt back in 2017 when I was 16 years old. So, I mean, I haven't practiced Taekwondo since 2018, so I'm a little bit rusty. I mean, I remember everything because it's all muscle memory and practice, like playing an instrument, playing a video game, in a sense. So I wanted to practice it just a little bit to spar with that hypothetical person, let's say. But there are many ways of practicing Taekwondo without physically fighting or physically sparring with someone. It can be many things. You can do pumses, which are like synchronized movesets of fighting styles, in a way. You can do a kick competition. You can break the targets. I don't know. There are many things that are in martial arts in general that are not all fighting. But definitely, I mean, I fought before and I went to competitions and I won and lost. And if someone asks me to fight, and that person is honorable, and I think he wants to have an honorable duel, I guess I will comply.
Awesome. Well then, with all that being said, Mike, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on another tournament, whether it be Match, Taekwondo, or hell, even Nick All-Star. Ooh.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
And that being said, this is Charles signing off. Hold on while I finish the recording.